everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Astrologist Present. I'm so excited to be not only recording this on Uranus Station Day in the basque of the full moon in Leo, but also because I get to talk about Traitors with none other than Neha.
Hello. I'm so excited to be back.
I feel like it would have made sense for us to talk about Traitors because we already have talked about Love Island, and naturally
hmm
this season people are awakening to Rob, for lack of a
Oh
better
yeah,
word.
it is Rob Island. It is Rob Island. And like I think both of our Scorpio placements love a show like this.
Oh my God. I mean, this show I think was meant for Scorpio Libra. Like
Yeah.
just the essence of fashion, but then no, you can't believe it. Anyone? What do you think so far this season? And also before we dive in, have you been watching other traders? Is Traders US your main
I've
focus?
only watched Traitors US.
Okay.
Need to explore more because
Yes.
it's such a fun game. And I want to also see like non-celebrities do it. I know the first season of US Traders was like a mix of reality TV people plus regular everyday folks.
Yeah.
But I think like it's fun. The US version is fun because it's like a lot of people you already know, but it's like a very specific environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was watching an interview and I forget who said it, but they were like, it feels so real. Like it feels like this is so serious, like everything that's going on in the castle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started watching this when I was sick last year, and I was like, I love murder mysteries, and
Mm-hmm.
here I am.
Here we go. What I would say is the Celeb Traders, like that's on Peacock actually as like a standalone, even though it's like, the Traders UK is like the regular people one. But the Celeb Traders UK, I watched that in December as like Neptune was stationing. Incredible. Wow,
Okay,
such
that's tea.
phenom. Like I cannot wait to hear or read your threads as you're watching it because commentary on that is great. Also, sidebar, if you don't follow Neha on threads, you should because it's I love the freedom in which like your thoughts just go ham and it's like I love it. I like can't do that, but she can and it's very entertaining. So please follow her on
Thank you so
threads.
much.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Gemini placements.
Natural storyteller.
Oh, and also one more Love Island Traders crossover. Didn't Aaron
Yes.
win like one of the first seasons of the Traders or something?
Yeah, but he kind of like lucked into it. Like Rob is playing a much
I
savvier
I heard
game.
he wasn't strategic. People were trying to use it against him, and they were like, "Guys, you that was not his gameplay."
Alan said that this was the or his favorite episode or the most intense episode, episode 7. And personally, I didn't think it was that or like it matched the hype. I don't know. Like I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. And I thought it was very good. And I was expecting something naturally as Neptune moved into Aries, like this should be fun and interesting and potentially bloody. It didn't quite hit. I'm personally waiting for Saturn and Neptune episode, that conjunction episode.
Okay, period.
Yeah.
When is that?
That's Feb 20, so that will be in 3 weeks. So episode 10.
Okay, that's a fun way to enter Neptune Aries with Saturn. Okay, period. Traders. Yeah, this episode, I think if it wasn't as hyped, we would have all enjoyed it just a little tad more.
Mm.
I thought people were gonna fight. So that's what I was thinking, but it was definitely an entertaining episode. I
Hmm.
feel like Lisa was like, yes, I'm gonna wear the brooch because she is that girl. So we know Lisa's a Gemini rising, and there's this really
Yes.
niche traditional astrology technique called a dodectamoria. And like if I were to recidify her chart, I'd be like, I think her dodectamoria is in Leo because she's so fabulous.
Oh
And
my
she's just
God.
so drama. Way she came down the stairs. I haven't watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know her from Dancing with the Stars, like I don't know,
Yes.
season two.
I remember that. She was on the season with Mark, which is amazing because he's on the show as well.
Oh my gosh,
They weren't
yes.
partners,
So,
but they were on the same season. Yeah.
oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like it was an entertaining episode. Jam Jam it was hilarious.
You know the Survivor players? Because obviously
I've
this episode
never
was.
seen Survivor, but I watched like video
Mm.
YouTube videos about it.
It's interesting that when Neptune moved into Aries, the if you think about the central focus of the episode, it was literally Natalie and Jam Jam, and both Survivor winners, both gamers. So it does make me wonder about Neptune and Aries and the idea of who ultimately like will win at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe someone not like reality TV, like housewife-y. Sorry, Candice, if people are listening and are Candice stans. I love Candice too. But there's something about the Aries energy that is gonna feel like a different winner almost than
Yeah.
before, you know?
From the vibes of like everyone's interactions on social media, and my speculation is Rob wins.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my speculation, just based on the vibes, which I'm not mad at, though I am
Hmm.
rooting for Candace. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about this recent episode because there's
Yes.
been so much discourse about like Candace's move, Rob's move,
Let's see. Candice, we do know, is a Scorpio
her rising
rising.
sign.
I don't know her
Okay,
time, but I
cool.
remember she confirmed it in an Insta Live or something.
Period. Love when they
God
do that.
God bless the comment warriors. But Gemini,
Yes.
Moon, Sag Sun, and Scorpio rising.
Wow. So I haven't seen her on Real Housewives
Hmm.
of I think
Potomac, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Potomac.
It's
I forgot to
Potomac's
say
so
words sometimes.
it's so good, honestly. If there's one series, Potomac's, I think, really
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. So my first impression of her this season was obviously she's so intelligent and well dressed. I don't know, she kind of gives like Elle Woods,
Yes.
a little bit, you know, just
Totally.
immaculately dressed, and smarter than you.
Hmm.
And just learning about like her career trajectory, I think her history as like Miss USA.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so I think that was like really cool. And it's cool to see that her ascendant lord traditionally is Mars with Jupiter in Pisces. And traditionally, Jupiter's also at home in Pisces. And so
Yeah.
just in general, that gives an element of luck of like good vibes, you know, to her character, to like what she's going after in life.
Hmm.
And like Scorpio is very strategic, so it makes sense. And I think what she did with Rob at that round table was
Hmm.
she said, checkmate, bitch. She said,
Hmm.
if I'm going down, you're going down. Because people were like, she voted emotionally. Emotion was an element, but
Hmm.
emotion was also an element for Rob when he couldn't vote against Ron.
Hmm.
So I just don't think that's a valid argument because I'm like, they both were emotional at the round table at different moments. The Scorpio is the side of Mars that's on the defense. If Aries is on the offense, Scorpio's on the defense. And I think that was a really fun and strategic move that really like it's different than this, but like it's when Boston Rob called
Hmm.
out Bob the drag queen at the round
Yes.
table, and it
Yes.
was just like no one had their eyes on Bob, and Bob was playing a really good social game, and then all of a sudden this threw a wrench in the plan, and I
Hmm.
think that can happen here with Rob, where it's
Hmm.
like he just got Lisa out, and apparently Candace said that Rob really didn't speak much at the round tables, but he was going hard for Lisa. And so I
Hmm.
think like that change of character, of like how he's behaving at the round table could potentially work against him. I'm curious. I do think he wins just based on the vibes, but I
Hmm.
think there could be some interesting dynamics there.
Yeah, I mean, so help me God if he made a plan with Colton. Like, I don't know if you've seen the chatter online that there's
Oh,
conspiracy theories that Colton basically made the same deal with Rob as he did with Lisa, or tried to do with Lisa, like, get me far and I'll
yeah.
protect you. Because it is very interesting that they have such a tight alliance, him and Rob. Maybe I'll pull up Rob's chart too. But actually, let me
Yeah,
stay on
let's do
Candace.
it.
I was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
say, let me stay on Candace for 1 second, only because I totally agree with what you said. Like, she's a Scorpio rising with Venus, Pluto. She may be perceived as emotional, but there is always a strategy underneath it, like fundamentally.
Hmm.
And because she's a Gemini moon, I mean, you have Gemini placements, right? It's like this idea that she can pick up the pieces and the patterns, and even if other people can't, she sees the common thread. And with that Sag Stellium, she's learning to have confidence in leading a charge almost, or believing her intuition. And
Yeah.
like, because she literally came out of the bag before they even realized they were all traitors and said that Lisa was a traitor, right? Like, she immediately clocked that and was like, you know what? I'm going to walk that back. And she was able to. And then she kind of caused a little more
Hmm.
chaos with the Portia and the Michael stuff.
Sag
Really,
Stellium would be the person to randomly start a conga line.
oh my
You know,
God,
people were like, how
totally.
did she pull this off? Because she's
She,
so fiery. And she has Sun conjunct Uranus. Like, expect the
hmm.
unexpected. I also think like her Venus Pluto conjunction in the first house, like the strengths of her game this season have been her social strategy. Like, just like you said, she was able to walk back her throwing suspicion on Lisa. And um, I think I think like if I were in Candace's shoes, because she's been emotional at the round table, for example, when Tiffany was banished,
Hmm.
and at different other points, that she can kind of play off her loyalty to Lisa a little
Hmm.
more chill.
Hmm.
But I just think her strength has been that social strategy and that balance of like sharpness, cool,
Yeah.
sharp, like Gemini Scorpio vibe with the balance of the feels. And then just put it all together with like a fiery Sagittarius.
It's interesting because I do think Candace is someone that tries to this is a complicated statement because I do, like I said, watch Potomac, and so on the show, like this is a Candace that has incredible reads. She's known for having her cry angles, which is so Jupiter and Mars and Pisces, because she does get very emotional and like actively like the tears
Wow.
are flowing. Like she was literally known for the cry angle. But she also is someone who, the real life subject matter that naturally you would assume someone with a lot of Sagittarius bringing into the dialogue, right? Like, let's take this
Yeah.
10,000 foot view of like what's really important and what's underscoring this, and like, can we have a conversation about it? So it was very interesting to see her chart play out. And admittedly, the show was not the right vessel for her at that moment. But I think it made sense because that was when she also stepped away to have her kid. And she's also trying to pursue a career in music. I did go see her in DC
Oh
actually.
my gosh, how was it?
She's really good. She's a great performer. She is so tiny in real life. Like I have a picture with her. She's so small. She is petite, but she
Oh my
packs a
gosh.
punch. She's very larger than life for sure.
I'm looking up how tall. She's 5'3". Okay, so she's my height.
I
Okay.
love
Yes.
that. Pull up Rob's chart and layer it on her because it's so funny to see the tension now that,
Between them.
yeah, like everything on social media. I mean, do we believe it as part of a
Hmm.
storyline? Do we believe this to be an
Is it
authentic
just
interaction?
building hype?
Yes, exactly. A la Ellen with this episode. This is very interesting. The Pluto, the Mercury
Mercury
Plutos,
thing?
the
That is
betrayal.
Oh, yeah, the power dynamics. Oh my gosh, one last thing on Candace's chart. I love that
Mm.
you said like the intuition and the crying because that's so Mars, Jupiter. It's like I will confront you and there will be feels and I will be correct. But I will also cry.
But they will still
Um,
pour, yes.
there are feelings here, actually. Um, so Rob.
Mhm.
Rob is a Leo stellium with a
Oh my
Virgo
God.
sun. Leo.
Classic.
Like, I
Hmm.
think it's interesting that when season 6 of Love Island blew up, like Rob and Leo were super drawn to each other, and both of them have Leo stelliums. And they were both kind of some of the initial stars of the season in terms of like popularity. Obviously, Venus, Mercury, like he's attractive. And
He's
people are
really
like, he's
attractive.
so hot. It's so hard to look at him straight in the eyes. And I was like, that's funny. Not him using the halo effect as his strategy, whether
It's like
that's a choice or not.
that's why Leos are ruled by the sun. Like it
You can't look
you,
at us for
you
too
really can.
long.
They'll blind. They will blind you.
um, I know, and he has that like golden sheen to his skin. He has a very Leo look. So I'm still learning about this, but according to the Babylonians, apparently Venus had a second exaltation in Leo, which is T.
Ooh,
Okay,
very
so
interesting. That makes
very
a lot of
interesting.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I don't know where I've been feeling that from, but I have been feeling that very deeply. And then I saw you post that on Threads, and I was like, oh my God, wait, that makes a lot of sense. Like just experientially, it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Because I do have my progressed Venus in Leo retrograde now, so I feel like I'm
Ooh.
understanding it through a whole different lens, really. Yeah.
Wow, that's super interesting. Yeah, because right now Venus does go retrograde in Leo every 8-ish years. 2023 was the last one. So I wonder what was going on in his life at that time. Probably some tea.
Because
Um,
he was on Love Island the season before he blew up on
oh
season.
yeah, he was with Cassie very briefly, right?
Yeah, because he was a bombshell, or
Casa Boy.
he was a Casa boy, yes. And then they liked him so much they brought him back as a main for the following season. So I feel like I wonder if that Venus retrograde story
Wow.
translates to the first
Right,
Love
because it would have been the
Island.
last summer. It would have been the summer before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah, that was like his catapult into the spotlight.
Totally. And then this year, obviously, in the second half of the year, we have Jupiter in Leo, we have the South Node in Leo, and then we have Venus in Scorpio, like, kind of whole sign squaring that at the very least, right? And so
Yeah.
it's interesting because I do think it is going to bring back that summer a little bit just because of Leo and this, like, we're getting to like
The
the
Scorpio
real,
square.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I've ever looked at his chart, or maybe I haven't paid that much attention to his chart, but I'm like, his dry nature makes a lot of sense. So we don't know birth time, right? So this is just
No,
okay.
unfortunately. But it makes
So
sense
let
that Leo would be in like a mate, like a, I feel like an angle, right?
I would not be surprised if Leo was angular or like somewhere
Hmm.
very visible at the
Hmm.
least. Like especially an angular Venus, like I could imagine that. I don't know if I've
Hmm.
said this before, but one time I flirted with a guy. I was reading his chart and I was like, "You have Venus on the ascendant. That's why you're so hot."
Yeah. That is
But
though
I would not
how
be
it goes.
surprised. T. Like, so he has a lot of fire and earth signs in
Hmm.
his chart, right? And besides his
Hmm.
Pisces placements and a few of the outers, fire and earth are both dry. Fire is hot and dry, earth is cold and dry.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
he, kind of based on what the chart I can see, his temperament leans more dry. And then we can really see that. I think his strength as a trader is that he's just so calm and even keel overall. He's able to just play it cool. And I think when they were doing the kind of murder in plain sight with Survivor Rob or Big Brother Rob, the other Rob, Rob C.
Bless
Like,
Robsy.
bless Rob C. Oh my gosh, he was so smart.
Never stood a chance though. No,
No,
he made himself too visible as being
Rob on Rob
strategic.
crime,
Hmm.
Rob on Rob crime. But he was able to just nonchalantly be like, nah, I'm not doing this conga line, you know? And like, I don't think everyone could, like, I don't think Jam Jam could pull that off, just to contrast, because a lot of people said he would be a great trader as well. So I think his dryness really plays into his strength. And, Virgos in general are really analytical, and Leos lead from the heart. Okay, Leos are loyal. So we could see that Ra is a very loyal person, and so is Scorpio. So Candace is really loyal to her people, and Rob is really loyal to his people. Even though Rob is a traitor, he's playing more for the faithfuls, a la Colton and the whole Colton crew that he's got going on. So in contrast with Candace, she has her loyalties to the housewives. I hated when Tiffany got banished, but
Yeah.
having Candace express her support for Tiffany in that moment, I think was like meaningful, and I think that's how that fixed sign loyalty can show up in different ways, but they do not have loyalty to each other. I think Candace did, but Rob was like, nah.
It's interesting because when you think about it, right? Like seeing their charts together, you have Candace's chart on the outer wheel. Like the fact that her South Node is on his Juno and it's like she's learning to move away from it, to me, like it kind of
Mm.
plays out in the way that, oh, they're not supposed to be treated like they have to be a little
Letting go
like
of
take charge.
commitment.
Yeah, so it's happening, but it's
Right.
interesting to see it through the symbolism even in their placements. And I
That
didn't
is
realize
really interesting.
they're both Jupiter Pisces together. Like, so they're 12 years apart. And she's the senior, and his is retrograde. So there is this thing about him trying to reclaim confidence and authority, right? And I feel like if you are in a trader group with two housewives, you're not very confident because, again, historically, there will always be one trader that gets found out, and then people have to turn. Or it has historically
Yeah.
been that one of the traders puts someone out for kill so that no one can suspect other people or like to throw the scent off. So I think as a Housewife fan, it sucked, but from a game playing perspective, it made sense. But I don't agree with the full showiness of it at the table as well. Like I think he could have been
Mm.
a more of a supporting type of voice
Yeah,
around
I
that.
think that's why Candace voted for him, is not because
Hmm.
he was nonchalantly going with the flow. Because I think
Hmm.
that's a different voting strategy. Like, I think, for example, when Boston Rob went after Bob, the drag queen, the other two traders, Danielle and
Yes.
um, what was her name? Caroline. They just went with the flow against Bob, right? I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But they weren't like gung ho the way Bob
Hmm.
was. And so I think, that again contrasts with his nonchalant nature for him to go that hard against Lisa. That Juno South Node note is really interesting. And Jupiter, like right now, Jupiter is around 17, 16 degrees of Cancer.
Yeah.
And it's trining both of their Jupiters, but by degree it's trining Candace's right now. And Jupiter will station
Mm,
direct on March 10th. And so I think she'll actually have a lot of like a career boost after the Traitors, especially
hmm
since the Jupiter station direct happens as the Traitors wraps up. So you know how a lot of people use the Traitors as like a comeback moment or like a moment to gain visibility to do other things. So I can actually see both of them doing that, especially since Rob also has Jupiter in Pisces, but maybe perhaps that will come a little later.
hmm
Um,
It is interesting the nodes are
yeah.
also right on his sun right now. The south node on his Virgo
Ooh.
sun. Not us talking about him with the moon at 10 degrees.
Oh wow. Yeah.
What are we
The
tapping into, Neha?
vibes are
The
strong.
vibes are strong.
Yeah, this eclipse season is going to be huge for him. I wouldn't be
hmm
surprised if he wins now, especially looking at this, because we have an
hmm
eclipse on
The
in
third.
March 5th, or early March.
Because I just saw this thing where it was like, it's so perfect. It literally, of course, this is a Virgo eclipse. It's 3-3 at 3:33.
Is it? But based on what time zone?
I'm like, I need to like double check my honeycomb right now.
Okay, it is on March 3rd.
It is March 3rd. It's 12 degrees 53 minutes. So that kind of makes sense. It's 13-degree
Yeah.
1-3. She was quoting West Coast time.
Wow, that is cute.
I mean, people were saying like alleged like, oh, maybe he'll like make it on Dancing with the Stars, which, this past season, obviously Dancing with the Stars was huge for Whitney, for Alex Earl. It really just
That would make sense.
it rejuvenated the platform, right? Like in a
Jupiter
way.
going into Leo.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I think that could be it for him because it'll be in the fall. And
hmm
the talks for Jupiter and or Dancing with the Stars usually happen in the summer.
Yeah.
Um, spring and summer leading up to it. So Jupiter would be then trining his Jupiter as we get closer to like midsummer.
Totally, totally. I can totally see him do it. But I also, interestingly enough, so Candace has just come out with like another song, I think,
Hmm.
on my algo. And I also saw an interview she had with Carlos King, maybe, about potentially being a little more open to coming back to Housewives. I mean, the reality is, right, when Scorpio Rising says,
Mm.
fuck this, scorch earth, I am not coming back, I will not come back. But I think there's something to be said about Jupiter being retrograde right now. And the housewife symbolism is always so strong with Jupiter and Cancer. So
Yeah.
you never
Mm.
say never. It could be interesting. Not holding my breath though, but it could be
It could
interesting.
be interesting. I'm
hmm
excited to talk with you about this once I've seen it.
Yes, 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 please do.
Also, their Sun Mars opposition is funny because they really do play on opposite sides. Like if you think like the Sun rule, like we don't know his rising sign, but the Sun rules his Leo stellium, right?
hmm
And then we know Candace's Scorpio rising, and so
hmm
traditionally that Mars is her chart ruler.
It's a good battle. I
Yeah.
mean, when I think about how that Virgo eclipse will also be hitting her Mars and Pisces. What if it's a situation they both make it very far to the end and one has to out the other in like the fire pit or something? You know what I mean?
Yes.
To your point, that Mars Sun opposition, you're standing
Hmm.
off.
So the finale is on February 26th, and the
Okay.
reunion also comes out on the 26th.
That would make sense that the lunar eclipse closes out this chapter for them. And then you think about the solar eclipse in Aquarius coming 28. I mean, for Rob, that's still really potent with his Venus in Leo.
Facts. Oh yeah, we don't know the
Hmm.
degree of her rising.
No.
Interesting.
Well, we talked a little bit about Rob's relationship with Colton. So help me God, I
Oh, let's go look at his chart. Scorpio moon
potential, but it makes sense. I mean, he like, the
or
whole
Leo.
Cassie situation where he like put a stalking device on her or a tracker on her, like that sounds like peak Scorpio type of behavior, in a
Yeah.
shadow vibration. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it makes sense. Rob and Colton like are best buds for life, you
Oh,
know?
wow. That Jupiter sun period.
Not that
Yeah, that makes
13
sense.
degrees also. So do they actually make it to the end?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I wonder if Rob will recruit Colton at the end.
Oh, he totally
I wonder.
will. He
Yeah, I think
totally will.
so.
That's what he wants to do. He wants to kick
That's
out
what
all
he
the
wants to
housewives,
do.
bring your faithful in. And
Keep the people who trust Colton, basically.
yeah. And Colton's the best shield. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
Rob is playing a very smart game, but again, he just took it a little too far the last round in how hot he came at
Yeah.
Lisa. It makes sense why Johnny, which I have his chart as well, and Candace at the end of the episode as like the preview,
Mm.
like, They're working
Side-eyeing.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing the Mars over Colton's Mars over Rob's moon is
Mm.
interesting. Like we don't know the exact degree of Rob's moon. Okay,
Actually, now
like
that I think about it, it's hilarious with Rob's chart because you know how like that once like you posted this, he was like ducking for cover and looking for privacy in like the pool, the one place that he like could go cry or something. And
yes.
I'm just like your Jupiter retrograde Pisces and Chiron in Scorpio is so funny. Like, don't see me. Don't no one look at me.
No one look at me. No, that was honestly real of him. He took off his mic. It was like both dramatic and emotional. It was,
So
yeah,
good. Great
very good.
TV.
So he has a Capricorn moon for sure because the
Okay.
moon is at 1 degree Capricorn at
Oh,
midnight.
perfect. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so we can confidently say he's a Capricorn moon. So by sign, well, Venus is also there. So say he is born early in the AM, Colton's Venus would be closer to his Rob's moon. And like
Hmm.
people are like, Colton just really likes Rob. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe. But I also see that Mars moon. I wonder if their friendship wouldn't last past the show in the long run. Like, I don't know. That's
Mm.
something I could ponder on.
Interesting. Yeah, because technically there's also the Saturn and potentially a moon opposition, right? Depending on where Colton's Scorpio
Yeah.
moon is. So it's not the smoothest of relationships, and it makes
No.
sense that they both are aligned for a common goal right now in this house, which it feels like online even people are commenting on like just how many housewives there were this season and how housewife centric this season has been. And I'm kind of
Mm.
like, well, I don't know. It's a lot of the people who watch these shows are also big housewife fans. Like it would make sense, but also
They bring the viewers.
It's a Jupiter and Cancer year. I'm sorry if there was no housewives. Like, what are we doing here? We had Donna Kelsey, the housewife of America, i.e., the mom, America's
Oh
mom.
yeah,
Like,
everyone was like, she's the mom. I thought it was hilarious that everyone clocked her as a traitor. They were like, she's too sweetheart mom. She must be a traitor. Also, Colton confirmed is a Scorpio moon. At midnight, it
oh.
was a 0 degree Scorpio moon. So we have their moon
Mm-hmm.
signs.
Perfect. Scorpio moon and Capricorn moon. I mean, that's bestie
I mean, that's
also.
me and my husband.
That's cute.
I will say Capricorn moon and Scorpio moon.
Mm.
I joke, it's like the fucked up moon club, you know? It's like
Mm.
the fall of the moon and the detriment or the exile of the moon. These are both places, like, if we think like the moon is where like Cancer and Taurus are like, I'm in a garden, I'm playing at the beach. Like, there's sunshine and there's life. Scorpio and Capricorn are like, shit's getting real. It's getting cold. Do we have
Yeah.
food to last us through the winter? I need to take care of everyone. Who and like what animals do I need to kill to make sure my family can eat? You know, like that
Mm-hmm.
that is Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so they really work together. Scorpio, is the water sign. It's fixed water. Versus Capricorn is cardinal earth. So I think that my assumption would be Colton has more loyalty to Rob than vice versa, potentially. Maybe. I don't know. Rob
Mm.
has that Leo stelly, but I don't
The
know.
Leo Stelly is always going to be to me a little more
Very loyal.
self-involved,
That's
and
true.
that's
Oh,
okay. Like here's the thing, right? Like there's a reason why his soul chose Leo placement on some level. Like there needs to be a focus on the self as part of you coming out and like actualizing, right?
yeah.
How far you take that, that's on the chart and that's on the person and how you choose to wield your energetic tools. But nevertheless, there's still the focus. This is the tricky part, right? Because he is going against the grain of the traitors, but he is also like a faithful. That is so Leo coded. Like I feel like Leos would want to be faithfuls, right? Like I'm the knight in shining armor. I'm leading the charge. That is
Right.
so Leo.
Like I want to
So
be able to say I
Leo.
have a pure heart. Like I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
anything bad. No,
Mm-hmm.
totally. Contrasting Colton with his Aquarius Sun and Saturn, which is far more
Oh.
of a self-depreciating
Mm-hmm.
placement. I was staring at his North Node conjunct Mars. So like the North Node is hunger. It's like the dragon's mouth with no belly. You can just keep consuming, and you'll never get enough. And like I think about his intensity of how he stalked his ex, the intensity even on The Bachelor, how he jumped that fence for Cassie. Um, and like, yeah, and just, yeah, that
Yeah.
intensity. I think that's where that's seen in the chart. And then like
Mm-hmm.
the, yeah, the Sun, Saturn, Aquarius, that's interesting.
To talk about that Mars, right? It's also like conjunct Uranus, So there is an unpredictability.
Instability.
Yeah, and a desire like there is such a such a strong desire to individuate. How do I want to put it? Like sometimes it's like it almost like he could short circuit, if he like can't get it out, it's like a lot of energy to be navigating. And I think it is
Mhm.
fascinating that, he has this cap stellium and of course, him coming on the Traitors. The show premiered in Jan 8th. Like this was a show that was rocking with the Kazimis, like the Capricorn
Oh,
Kazimis and
that
stuff.
week? Okay, T. I
Yeah,
love
so look at
that.
that resonance with Colton's chart. So the Trader's chart is in the middle and Colton's is on the outer wheel.
Wow.
That 18-degree, like Mars, Sun, Venus, all of that on that Uranus, Neptune, also with Mars, right? Like it makes sense why he has made such an impact and maybe not the most positive way, as you can point out with the Sun
Hmm.
Saturn situation. It's just very interesting to see the resonance of his chart and how it's playing out IRL.
Totally. I mean, controversy drives profit, and I don't know
Yeah.
what's been done as like to repair that situation. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's same with like Michael Rappaport, like just
Mm.
obnoxious. Like even the Michael versus Colton thing, like I was like, wow, that's
It
intense.
Honestly, I'm like, great, eat, like, rip each other's heads
Yeah,
off,
go
like,
at
go
each
ham.
other.
I do think it is interesting that, his Jupiter's on the south node of the chart, so it kind of makes me wonder if that's another indicator, like of success or something, right? Jupiterian
Mm.
for him, because again, Sun also on this chart's Pluto. Like, if I think about what this show is encapsulating right now, because there are a lot of parallels with the real world, low key. The fact that this show is a Saturn and Neptune show makes me wonder if, yeah, it makes sense that like the boys club would win. You know what I mean? Like the status quo
I
would win.
wonder.
And his chart
Definitely
kind
like
of
the cultural vibe.
yeah. Versus like a Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries, like that's a different type of winner. But this show is still anchored in Saturn and Neptune, which is maybe going to be interesting when you think about the show's response to the winner. Because normally people are rooting for the winner, like whether traitor or faithful. But I don't know about this season if Colton ends up winning. It
You know,
might be
I
more
think
controversial.
it might be Jupiter on South Node. That's interesting. Jupiter in Virgo,
Hmm.
like retrograde, like that's not a great like Jupiter is kind of very far away from home, very
Hmm.
overthinking, very analytical. I feel like that trine has Mars because it's I think trine pretty close by degree. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mars is
yep.
moving. They're both moving towards each other since Jupiter's retrograde and Mars is direct.
Hmm.
So like increase of aggression and thinking. I just think of like how his eyes get so intense and how
Hmm.
like every episode it's someone. He's going after someone. It was like the end of this episode. He
Hmm.
was like, I'm going after Steven. I was like, what did Steven
LOL.
even do?
That was so funny.
That person.
I mean, like, also to say, like, to do his whole spiel about I've been born a competitive person and I've been, like, you're talking
Cancer,
to an
Mars, and
Olymp
Capricorn as fuck.
literally, but like, dude, you're talking to a fucking Olympian. Like, this guy has won a medal at that level that you're claiming to claim. I feel like because Colton had such a bad go at The Bachelor and like the ensuing shit that happened and hasn't necessarily like found his footing. I mean, of course, he's married with kids. Like, that's the thing.
Mhm.
He's like moved on in his life, in real
Yeah.
life. And so when he was announced as a castmate, I I'm always going to be like, look, he's clearly moved on. That came at a time where I'm never gonna like try to superimpose my belief on how someone should act when you have not come out of the closet, right? It's a very, very
Right.
intense internal feeling, which you can probably imagine with the Jupiter retrograde in Virgo.
Totally.
So, like, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like he's so hungry to be so liked in a way that Rob is so effortlessly liked, and there's like that duality of Leo and Sun, Saturn in Aquarius.
Leo. Yeah. Oh, T.
As you said, he's coming for Steven. And not that Steven would have been a person that I like casually wanted to look at, but randomly I felt like very called to do it. And I mean, like, Steven has an Aquarius stellium.
That is so interesting. Wait, there was one thing that I was thinking of
Oh,
that I lost my thought.
oh, so sorry, Colton's
Oh, okay.
chart.
My prediction is that, yeah, a man's gonna win or men are gonna
Hmm.
win because the premiere chart was Mars Cazimi. Like, the Mars was closer to the
Yes,
sun. Mars is more
yes,
protected than Venus. And
yes.
Mars also is less harmed by the rays of the sun because uh, compared to Venus. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, I think a man's gonna win. That's my prediction.
that would make a lot of sense.
So I don't know much about Steven. I know he was like on a couple of shows back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Laguna
Um,
Beach Life. And he was
was
also on
he,
One Tree Hill.
didn't he date Lauren Conrad, or am I
Yeah, he
making this
did.
up?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's why
okay.
everyone's like, "Oh my God, he literally still looks the fucking same. Like he
Oh
still
my
is
gosh, it's
so
adorable.
heartthrob attractive from high school
I
and
feel like
he's
that's
like
so
a
his
grown-ass
Venus,
man."
Mercury,
Yes. And
like the
Jupiter,
girls, and
like
Jupiter. He's a little weird, but the girls love him.
it's so funny because
Quirky, not weird.
you're saying like, oh, he's coming for Steven now. That's so random. And like, again, though, is it that random? Because you go back to the Sun Saturn situation that Colton has, and then you think about the opposite type of response that Steven has. Steven could just walk into a room and everyone's like, God bless you. Colton walks into a room, it's like, what are you
That's
doing
funny.
here?
Now the both the benefics, Mercury, the sun, maybe the moon. Like wow. Um,
It's like a benefic experience of Aquarius versus
I
the
know. It's
Saturnian
like two
influence.
different types of Aquarius. It's like the charming, kind of smart, cool guy, versus
Totally.
oh
Totally.
wow, that person who feels like an outsider.
As the show goes on, naturally the chart opens up, but then whoever's natal chart gets activated by that season also opens up in tandem with the show. So,
Totally.
Steven wasn't a main person we were talking about the first 3 episodes, 4 episodes, 5 episodes, which was very Capricorn season loaded. But I feel like, as the Kazemi moved into Aquarius, Steven started becoming a more prominent figure on the show. Like he's serving
Real.
the turkey.
He was like, guys, I served the turkey, but I am not a traitor. And Colton was like, you are a traitor for serving the turkey. Lady doth protest too much.
That was amazing. And if you probably were in that room, it would have felt so fucking intense, right? Like
Right. I totally
that.
see why Alan hyped it up. I'm sure in the room it was crazy.
This is a real question. Do you feel like Jam Jam should have been able to vocalize an opinion about who the
Ooh,
traitor was after the murder or no?
not the ghost of Yam Yam. Coming back. I feel like it made sense because of the way he died, right? Because Jam Jam was killed in front of everyone. So on entertainment purposes, yes, but like gameplay, like
Yeah.
no, you're dead. Shut up. If that makes sense.
Literally. I mean, it's so funny because
And it's
I was
on
one of those
Regulus.
people, literally. I like genuinely thought Jam Jam would be a really great traitor. I really enjoyed him on Survivor. I thought
Another Jupiter in Pisces.
yeah. Wow.
He
Oh, okay.
the
We
nodes
got
in I feel
three.
like Pisces and
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
nodes in Pisces and Virgo.
And Cancer for him too, because Rinna is a
Of
Cancer
course he's a
stellium.
Cancer. Like if I someone asked me to guess Jam Jam sign, I would be like a Cancer. He feels his
Yes.
feels, but he's
He,
also so sweet, but he's
he
sassy.
interesting.
And
He's
Mars
got the
in Capricorn,
Mars opposition.
retrograde.
Oh. In his exit interviews, he's been saying how much he fucking like hopes the faithfuls lose or something because like they're all playing stupid or something. Like he wasn't happy with the way that everything was going on in the castle and how they were strategizing. And
Yeah,
he's like, fuck these people. They're so dumb. That's why I think he was like,
that is
Lisa
so
did it. But here's the thing. I'm like, dude, the argument that I would make in response to that is, of course, you're going to say Lisa because the last person who said Lisa was Colton at the round table in a very convincing manner. So naturally, when you lead the fucking horse to water, I'm gonna already like have that
it's already a
vantage
thought
point.
in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like, obviously it was edited, so we don't know how long people were talking in what groups, right? But based on the edit, what we could see, like, he talked to, like, Lisa was also probably fresh on his mind because this was like after a round table, right?
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
So like the
Exactly.
vibes were already intense, and yeah, I think Mars retrograde in Capricorn is like your intuition was absolutely right. You got the people
Yes.
wrong. It was
Totally.
Lisa. You're right.
Incredible.
Um,
Even the way he talked about it, where he was like, you have this energy. There's a sparkle, right? Like he was picking, his Cancer was
yes.
totally picking up on something.
The Jupiter, Pisces, Cancer,
Totally. That trine. I
even
mean,
Virgo moon.
really good intuition naturally. Water placements? Come on. Come on.
Oh yeah. I feel like his career could do like I feel like he could have a moment in the sun with his placements this year.
They'll obviously
Oh my
be
God, we
an
haven't even looked
all-star.
at Rinna.
No, no. So that's why I'm like,
Crazy. I forgot
okay,
about that.
it makes sense because I'm like, what's the train of thought here? I'm like, okay, so is there anything in
Not the
synastry?
moon Pluto girl. I mean, we don't know Jam Jam's exact time, but
No, the fact that they're born in the same fucking day.
oh my God, that's so funny. Of course Lisa killed him. Off with his head.
Wait, I did not fucking real because when I was putting all the info in, I remember typing a
Wow.
July 11th, and I was like, "Wait, did I type July 11th already?" And I was like, "Whatever, I'm sure it'll come on the wash." Yes,
Well, of course, Lisa killed you. Look at that Mars Pluto. Because if his
incredible.
moon's at 10, it seems like he'll probably have a Virgo moon. I'll confirm. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God,
um
opposing moons also.
opposing moons, yeah.
Oh my
Pallas
God.
Athena on his Venus,
Oh
like
my
this
God.
warrior strategy queen.
Mm.
She's like, I must murder in a dramatic and beautiful fashion on
Oh,
Regulus. And
let
then, on
me put her.
Venus. That's hilarious.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, because we know Lisa is a Gemini rising. We don't know if
Yes.
that time is like a hundo P, but that's the time that's being circulated. So, like, where does all of
Wow.
this fall in? Like, oh my God, this Mars South node in the eighth house. This is old karma. This is old karma playing out. There
I'm
is.
screaming. Not her getting vengeance from from another life. Yes, Jam Jam is a Virgo moon. Confirmed. Facts. Okay.
Perfect. So good. So good.
So wow, no, like
It makes
that's
sense.
hilarious.
It makes sense. She betrayed him or not betrayed, but she killed him and he then
Yes.
reflected it back.
Like I think it's interesting that he has both Mars and Mercury retrograde. So I didn't
Hmm.
watch, he won Survivor, right? He
He
won his
did.
season. Okay, did you watch that season?
I did. Yeah, I'm a
Could
big
you tell me a
Survivor
little bit about it?
girly.
I'm curious.
So he and Caroline were from last season, Traitors were like tight on the
Oh,
show, or they were like frenemies-ish. And Jam Jam's actually the first outwardly gay contestant to ever win the show, which is a huge thing for the
oh
series
wow,
because
I didn't know that.
he was like season 40, like in the 40s, right? Like the show's been on for a long time. We're about to hit 50 in a few weeks. So
Right.
it was a huge moment, and I was surprised he did win because I actually think Carolyn played a better game. And I think people
Mm.
underestimated her, but I'm happy he still won, of course. Like, I genuinely enjoyed
Was
his
it the
time.
two of them at the end?
It was him and one more person I can't remember, but he was very loud
Yeah.
and very, like he's very him. But I think on this show it was interesting because on Survivor he didn't play us scared. Like he was scared, but he was, I think, a lot more tactful. And you kind of hear it with the Survivor players. Like Survivor, this is a much tougher game than Survivor in different ways. But yeah, it is very cool though to see Jam Jam and Lisa.
No, that's hilarious. Like, of course she went after him. Like, if I would have seen this the night of, I would have been like,
Oh yeah, she's killing him.
this is like, okay, so like seeing the Moon Mars synastry, it's similar to what we had with Colton and Rob. So I'm interested to see
Mm.
if Rob will bring him along with the for him at the win or betray him at the last minute.
Rob about to
But
murder him in plain sight.
right. I think it's very interesting that Jam Jam and Colton both have 17 degree or like close to 17-ish degree, or I think Colton's was around 12. But it's interesting that they
Oh,
were
the
both on the
Mars.
season, like having
Mm.
multiple Mars and Capricorn contestants, like
Mm-hmm.
the season that premiered on a Mars Kazemi and Capricorn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I would also say, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say honestly, that's why initially I thought Jam Jam was like a little bit of a dark horse because of that Mars. I'm like, oh,
Totally.
interesting. But it makes sense he's still, I mean, he became a figure we're talking about, right? Like he had such
Totally.
a big role in this episode, this turning point. So it I mean, the chart did work. It's just how it panned out wasn't exactly like winner, but
It
dark
didn't go
horse.
for a win, but yeah.
Yeah. This is my favorite discovery of the day. This
I know, this one's good.
just woo.
Yeah. I feel like the feedback we're getting this season is it is a really good season, right? I feel like the general
Mm-hmm.
consensus is people are enjoying watching, besides
Mm-hmm.
Michael Rappaport and like Colton controversies. Like people are saying this is entertaining, this is good.
Yeah.
So I feel like the launch date was on a great day for Mars Kazemi.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
And
agree.
people are invested and there's a lot of strategy, right? Like to compare with like Carolyn from last year, like maybe she was strategic sometimes, but I feel like that wasn't her main MO of how she
Mm-mm.
was playing, she had a much more empathetic
Yeah.
vibe.
It's interesting too because there's this app called like Chat BCC where I think you would really enjoy it with your Gemini placements and the Scorpio. It literally is the cast or like who like it's really Survivor people, like old traders people. They're all signing in for a live viewing and they're all just chatting in the thread.
Oh, that's
And so it's funny because Colton was in the chat and then people were not happy with Colton. Like Sandra, Queen Sandra, like was just being Queen Sandra. And Colton could not take the heat and he left the chat. like a few weeks ago. I was like,
Whoa.
someone came in later and was like, "Hey, Colton," and someone was like, he left.
I'm screaming. I haven't, I've seen like old like edits of Sandra basically and how
Oh,
savage she
so
was
good.
in Survivor.
Sandra is incredible. She won it twice,
Twice
and
is amazing.
she is epic. She is, if anyone ever shat on Sandra, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. The
I
not
don't,
my name strategy is the winning strategy.
what's the not my name
Oh, it's
strategy?
just I'll vote for anyone, but just not me. So Sandra comes in with this understanding
Oh,
of I'm willing to work with you as long as it's not me. But speaking of another queen, obviously, shocking, right? That
Lisa
Lisa has
Rinna.
no Leo placement except for Palace, of course.
And this is why I'm like the dodecamoria of her ascendant
Hmm.
is Gemini. So that would mean her mid or her ascendant degree would be around, hold on, can I math this around my head? Like it will be around
Back of the envelope math style.
six, around like, I'll give you the range actually. Let me look this up. I was like, I think I have it, but let me, okay, it'll be between 5 and 7.5 degrees if she does have this. So it's a pretty
Oh.
small range.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's my guess, just based on her, because the 12th parts or the dodectamoria is essentially it's a zodiac inside the zodiac, and it's a similar technique
Mm.
used a lot in Vedic or Jyotish astrology. If you ever hear like D12, D60
Yeah.
divisionals, same technique. So this would be D12 or the
Okay.
12th parts, and basically it's like it gives you the hidden themes in the chart and it gives you like another layer of like how it expresses itself. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the ascendant of the do or the dodectomory of the ascendant is a big one. Mine's in Leo.
Mm.
Her, I think hers is in Leo. And it's such a small
Beautiful.
degree. So we can, if she ever confirms her birth time, we'll know if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like she is so incredibly watery, so much
Mm-hmm.
Cancer, so much Pisces. I feel like she has to have that midheaven with Saturn. I don't think her midheaven would be in Pisces because potentially maybe opposite Pluto or Mars or something, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
she just has that big baddie in public energy, you know what I mean? Where
Mm.
I don't know her entire arc on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but
Oh,
I think she was a savage.
she fell from grace, is what I would say. That's why at the end,
Whoa.
where she said it was very emotional leaving Housewives, and honestly, I mean, look, there
Mm.
was a lot of racial tension also with Garcelle, the lone black cast member at the time. And it's interesting
Wow.
with Lisa's chart because there's this thing on Beverly Hills called the Fox Force 5. And it literally is a group of women who are, it's very cliquey. They all have Cancer placements or Capricorn. Like the leader of the Fox Force 5 is Kyle Richards. She is a Capricorn sun. But Lisa Rinna, Dorit Kemsley, and Erica Jane, all white women, and all of them had cancer. So there was this, it was very fascinating to observe how cancer was moving about the show. And close to Rinna's end, her mom, Lois, who was also someone who came on the show from time to time, Lois is an amazing, amazing soul. She passed away. And my
Mm.
thesis was that Rinna trying to hold on to whatever stability and trying to prolong something when and also dealing with I'm sorry, her mother's death and grieving that. And this was all happening during her
Mm.
Saturn return.
Oh, when Saturn was in Aquarius.
Yeah, so it was a really intense time for her. And again, I'm not excusing microaggression or something, but here's the thing, it's so fascinating because Ron recently stepped up for Lisa. So, Ron's all over threads. Ron will rethread you and comment. He's with the
Wait, I
people.
haven't seen him. I need to
We
go hang
will,
out.
yes, we'll pull his chart up also, but he literally had to stop someone and said false narrative about Lisa. She is an activist. She has been nothing but kind and nice. And I'm like, that's
Wow,
great.
maybe she's truly learned over these past few years. Maybe Saturn going up for her moon, aka Sade. So Saturn in Aquarius, aka her Saturn return, was the beginning of her Sade Sati, which is a Vedic technique. Basically, when
mm.
Saturn is within 45 degrees of your moon, um, for 7 years.
Hoo, hoo, hoo.
So basically, when Saturn's in the same sign as your moon or the sign before, the sign after, it is typically challenging. some say it's tougher than the Saturn return. I'm about to go through my Saturn return, so I'll report back. But for me, my Sadisati was one of the hardest times in my life,
Mm-hmm.
which was Saturn and
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio. This time she could have learned, like I can't speak to what exactly happened on Beverly Hills, but I also think of like things like microaggressions and things that have even shown up on this season of The Traitors.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Tiffany's banishment. How much
Mm-hmm.
even when someone can be an activist, like I do see like Lisa Rinna has more liberal politics, right? She does not support ICE.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's cool. Like I don't know much about her, but that made me like her. And I saw Ron
Mm-hmm.
and Lisa make a thing about that. But it's like even like so many things can be so unconscious. I don't know. It's a complicated thing. I don't really have an answer for that.
No, no,
But
of course, yeah.
yeah, like unconscious bias is real. But I do think
Mm-hmm.
it's cool that Ron has stood up for her. Ron was like
Sweet baby angel.
the
Sweet
canary in the
baby.
coal mine for this season type of like, not that he was like, he was just like how you saw Ron said something about you. Like, I don't know if that makes
Oh, no,
sense.
totally. Because dear Ron, I mean, he has a
Not
double
another Pisces.
literally.
There
I
are so
mean,
many Pisces this season.
it makes a lot of sense what you just said about the Pisces in the eighth. How you see Ron tells a lot about you, right? And so
Facts.
that eighth house, that's how that kind of works. When like when people talk about that projection, right? And so
Wow.
he sees her like they see each other. They get
They
each
see each
other.
other totally.
And Venus on the North Node, like that's cute.
That's cute.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, here's my last conclusion I'll say. Garcelle having a bad experience with Rinna doesn't take away from Ron having a good experience with
Yeah,
Lisa Rinna.
yeah.
So I think layers,
Mm-hmm.
intersectionality, period. But I think their synastry is so cute. Jupiter with Venus, both
Mm-hmm.
of them having Pisces moons. I'm talking so fast. The Mercury Pisces connection. Okay, the Mercury and Pisces. It's like no wonder he had such a hard time like translating the truth. Like things got lost in translation. You
But he
know,
came out
I
so strong at first when he like laid out his
he
argument, and
did.
I was like, okay,
But
lawyer.
like then the way he got perceived, yeah, because that was his Mars and Venus and Aries, I feel like, because he did
Yes,
came with evidence, he came with reason, evidence, but then, the Pisces Mercury, it's like, but somehow, even though he did the same thing that every other faithful does, to provide evidence
literally.
against someone and sometimes get it wrong, often get it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
his got weirdly lost in translation. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what is going on here? Knowing that he's a Leo rising now, oh my gosh, as a Leo girly, I'm like, oh, we want to be in spaces where our light is appreciated and seen.
Yes.
And then having his son in the eighth, it's like that experience of sometimes not being seen or not being appreciated can be really real with the eighth house sun, especially as his ascendant lord.
It's interesting because like it makes me think that if you have eighth house placements, I don't know if maybe that translates better on TV because people can see what the people there can't because there's like a different lens being
Totally, like
applied, you know?
the 11th and the 10th house, which is like the public, can
Mm-hmm.
see the 8th.
And he's got
Yeah.
Chiron. So we see that wounding. We understand the
Yeah.
outsider. And actually, what I love about his story too is through the show and through the audience reaction to the show, it made him realize, hey, maybe I should go get tested for autism. And he actually, I guess the results came back and he
He's
is.
autistic.
And
Okay.
which is so powerful because again, I think that was happening right around that Cap new moon at 28, which would have
Wow.
been squaring that Pluto in the third, right? When you're thinking about a communicative aspect or how you're approaching the world. Like imagine the filter that's now being applied and you can almost accept and see things better, or rather than having to feel like they justified or maybe even resigned. Like it creates a different kind of empowerment around your perspective, I
Yeah.
think.
Wow, that's really powerful. Like, because, one experience of autism is like these weird, confusing experiences in social environments, especially
Mhm.
one as like heightened as that. So even though it sounded like he had a really not great time overall, it sounded like by the end he was like, I'm ready to go home. I wish we knew what happened with Dorinda. Like,
Mm.
I think he's been really respectful of production and not revealed the
Yeah.
tea, so to speak. But yeah, I see his like Jupiter Mars trine. And
Hmm.
it's like that is giving someone who's passionate and like Jupiter and Sagittarius at its best is like I'm gonna fight for what I believe. Like especially well,
Hmm.
specifically with trining Mars and Aries.
Hmm.
And I thought his comment, like Venus and Aries, is not a Venus that is focused on being liked by everyone all the time and is
No.
not for everyone. So I thought it was really um like on point when he made the comment to when Dorinda was like, well, you don't want to know about my family. And Ron was like, yeah, I don't want to know about your family. And we obviously don't know what happened behind the scenes to even give more context to how they felt about each other. But
Hmm.
you can really see that in his Mars and his Venus. Like he is a very fiery person, which I think is really cool.
Mm.
I want to check out more of his comedy.
He has, I think his promo for the news circuit that he's running has him as a faithful and like all these traders. Like I think there is going to be more tea that gets spilled through the comedy show. And I think that's also part of a
That's
strategy
cool.
maybe to
And maybe a
not,
reunion.
yeah. I mean, I do watch Roni and I did love Dorinda. She was a saggy queen with the most iconic one-liners. Like we've all heard them, even if
I've
you've
heard she
maybe
is very
not the Bush
iconic.
show. Yeah, and like people, she shows up in the gifts. Like she has made some moments happen, but she even had to get put on pause by Bravo because she was
Wow.
doing too much. It was getting bad because she would get so belligerently drunk and then just go off like Lord have mercy, okay? Like a sag, and I think she's an Aries moon, maybe. So like the
Oh, wow. That's
fieriness
bizarre.
and the fact that this would hit
Wait,
Ron's
we've
chart.
had this is another Mars on Moon situation if she does have an Aries moon.
Oh my God, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I didn't pull up her chart because she's like kind of irrelevant this season, except for
She's
Ron,
just super
basically.
quiet.
Because she's like,
Yeah.
I don't. Everyone's like, she needs to just drink a little more.
That's what I've heard. People were like, I'm excited for the banquet. We can see her have a little something.
Okay,
Uh,
December 13th, 1964,
oh, the
just
same
to
birthday as Beyonce. Oh, not Beyonce, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Oh my God. Yeah,
That's
she is.
interesting.
So one thing I can see where she might take offense to, I'm not justifying it, is she lost her husband, John, the love of her life, and that was like a big
Mm,
storyline for her, like multiple years. And like you can kind of explain the drinking a little bit as a function of grief, I would also imagine. But
right.
yeah, look at that Aries moon on. Oh,
Wow. We've had so many Mars
wow.
on Moon situations with like the people, like the with the pairs this season, where their
Interesting.
ops are working together. I think it's interesting because our 11th house can give us like how we act in group situations sometimes, like the
Mm.
third and the 11th, and just seeing that Ron's ruler of his 11th is in detriment and fall. It's Mercury in Pisces. And then the ruler of his third is
Oh
Venus
no.
in Aries with Mars. So,
Oh.
like, it makes sense how, like, being in this group, castle, traitorous environment, was difficult. I did think his and Rob's little moment was really cute, but wow, that Mars on Dorinda and him, wow.
That makes sense with the Leo rising and all of Rob's Leo, just hanging like
Mm,
cradling the ascendant. Like he could see it, and I appreciate that's what he saw. And also, I mean, Ron has the South Node in Cap, and Rob has that Cap moon at early degrees, and so that would be cradling his South Node
mm,
too. So Rob is like a maternal figure, someone who does not want to abandon Ron. Like there's something interesting here, but with Dorinda and Ron. Mercury retrograde and Cap on the South Node, I feel like if Ron could be like frustrated with the way people perceive her strategy is better than his strategy, like her strategy is to like,
mm,
I'm gonna make friends with everyone and figure out like that way. And Ron's like, I'm not really here to make friends with everyone. This is a game. And whose strategy is better, quote unquote. Realistically, it's somewhere in the middle, right? It's still a social
yeah.
game, but you have to have strategy. Like both did two different things or had two different approaches to the game.
Mm,
I wouldn't be surprised with Dorinda going off the cuff after a drink or something and said something really nasty and microaggressive heavy in a way that she wouldn't even realize. And Ron would be like, I can't even
mm,
explain this to you right now because this is like so like what the fuck, you
mm-hmm.
know? But we shall see. Hopefully the reunion brings about some clarity
Right. She
onto the
also has
situation.
Mars trine Jupiter, similar to what Colton, I think, had. Because Colton had Mars and Capricorn trine Jupiter and
Mm,
Virgo. So it's
mm,
interesting. Like, that's interesting that both of them have had, like, I guess, aggressive outbursts
mm-hmm.
in each of their own ways. But Dorinda did not
Yeah.
stalk anyone. But
Very interesting because it's also both retrograde and Earth, both Colton and her.
mhm.
Hmm.
That exalted Venus rule, or not exalted. Oh, I misread that. She has Venus in Scorpio, not Pisces.
Conjunct
Oh,
Neptune, so fishy Neptune. Just kidding.
wow. Okay, that's
Which
interesting.
also explains the drinking. And then that opposing Chiron, like she
Mm,
probably said something under the influence boom, that hitting a very sore spot for Ron.
I wonder. I wonder
Hmm
because I think they're not like at least on most days. I think they're not allowed to have more than one drink or not drink at all
There's
because
like a
they don't
limit on
want
the
people
show.
to
Hmm
spill accidentally, right? You
hmm
have to kind of keep it together. So
There's also something about filming on this show where you can only talk strategy. So like apparently the cast is like divided into different groups of people, right? People who
okay,
when the cameras are not rolling are not talking strategy, and people who are still talking strategy after the cameras are rolling, but in a more discreet way. There's a meta gameplay with traders as well that I think is really fascinating. So yeah.
that's interesting. That I wow with the theory that you said about Rob and Colton working together. I don't know if
hmm
that's true because like
hmm
if he proposed that to Lisa, like they would have to. I don't know. I feel like the producers would be aware of that, but who knows?
I just wish Lisa had responded to the round table. Hey, Colton tried to make me an offer. Like, do you
Right.
trust this guy as a faithful? Because why is a faithful trying to work with a traitor? And granted, it's part of your
Yeah.
whole spiel, but like, what's happening here? Like,
Lisa was not good at defending herself.
her Chiron moon freaked out, I think, in Pisces in that moment.
Yeah.
I thought
She was
she
just like,
handled
no,
herself
I
well.
didn't do that. And it's like,
But you know
but
what?
you
Here's the it's hard to say like how your what your natural response would be. I've thought about this
totally.
many times, right? Like the idea that if someone were to say you're this, the first reaction is go, "No, I'm not." And then like come
Totally.
up with your thing. But if you're panicking and because you aren't actually this thing and now are freaked out that someone's gonna vote you off, you're like, of course, just doubling down. Like, I'm not it, I'm not it, but I'm trying to figure out other things.
Mm,
It I I just really think if you've already decided this person's it, no matter what they fucking say, like you are gonna zone in unless someone else has a more compelling thing than this narrative. And I honestly did think the
right.
Natalie narrative could have been compelling,
She could have used that.
But
She
fucking
could have
Rob,
used that. He knew that Natalie often sides with Colton, so he was not going to let Natalie
an
leave, I don't
ally.
think.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't going to
No.
let that happen. So I think if they had maybe potentially she chose a different target, but there wasn't, I don't think there was another good target unless she kind of pulled a Colton and was like, and Tiffany.
Oh, actually, yeah, sorry, Tiffany's
That's like,
chart. I love everyone's chart in this conversation because you see how everyone interplays with each other. Every encounter, every dynamic makes a lot of sense when you line the charts up, especially that Jam Jam and Rina chart, like my so help me God. But we
do
believe
we
this to
know her
be
birth time? No?
just
Okay.
noon, unfortunately. But Leo Sun, Mercury Cancer, definitely a Gemini Moon, Venus Gem. Jupiter in Virgo also, but not retrograde, direct, and it's conjunct
With
Colton's,
Saturn.
which is
Right.
interesting.
Yeah, let's pull up Colton and hers. Like, what was going on there? Wow, their
Hmm
Jupiters are almost the same.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
very interesting.
Like, I think like her persona gives very much that Venus and Gemini, like Venus, Moon, and Gemini with like the
Hmm
glasses and like the kind of collegiate,
Mm,
academic fashion. You know what I mean?
yeah,
With
yeah.
the fun like bob, like I feel like her aesthetic is very Venus and Gemini,
hmm
or like Moon Venus. Like she's very. I haven't watched Big Brother, but
Same.
that's what
I
she
don't
was
watch
on,
Big
right?
Brother.
No,
Hmm
but she was very strategic, and I think what she did on her season was she created an alliance between the black players,
hmm
like called the Cookout
mm
or something of that nature. I forget
hmm
the exact name when I was reading about it, but her strategy was to like bring people together.
hmm
And I don't, did she win her season? Let's look it up.
I think she did. I can't remember. That is one thing I just, from a competitive TV perspective, I'm not like as into, but I'm glad to see them on Traders.
Yeah. Okay, so she got sixth place. I don't
Okay,
know what
that's
that
pretty
means, but
good.
that's pretty
That's a
good.
big, I feel like that's a big cast. I think that's a very
Okay.
big cast.
I
Yeah.
don't really have much context about that, but it sounds like she got pretty far. And I feel like Venus and Gemini square, Saturn in Virgo, Jupiter in Virgo.
Mm.
Wow, okay. Um,
She can't be
the
free to be herself or like, I don't know, speak her mind in some way. Like the restriction, the clampdown of the Saturn
mm,
and the Jupiter, like
I
it
feel
just
like
feels
the Jupiter in
constraining.
Virgo is just like a more optimistic Jupiter might have kept fighting, might have kept, and she
Hmm.
also has Mars in Libra, right? It was like, she was like, okay, write my name. Tiffany, you know.
Like Tiffany,
And
the brand.
because I feel like she did fight back, right? She did say her
Mm-hmm.
point, she did say her piece. Then at some point it was just like, well, if that's what y'all are gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of
The tide
acceptance
couldn't
that I can
turn.
think of, like Jupiter, Saturn.
Yeah. Resignation,
Wow.
almost.
Mm-hmm.
That was a word that came to me too when thinking about Ron's chart with his Neptune on the South Node and the way he went about, well, you're all gonna vote me out anyway, so let me
Right.
do this like martyr thing instead of like really like, hey, no, you guys are stupid. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like take a little more charge. And
Right.
here's the thing, I'm not in that position, so I don't know how much you're just so over it that you're like, I just want out of here. Like, just
Right.
send me.
Also being on the like receiving end of like, okay, so I can only speak from my experience, right? But like as
Mm.
someone who's experienced colorism and then just being
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, it's so easy for people to turn against you real fast. Like for some
Yeah.
reason it's so easy for you to believe this negative thing about me. So I just
Yeah.
really felt about her of like how quickly like that tide turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think with Leo placements, like something about a Leo sun, the spotlight's
Mm.
gonna be on you. Like you
Mm-hmm.
are gonna be noticed. It's not like, for example, do you have Natalie's chart? I'm
I
so
do
curious.
actually have Natalie's chart.
Leo is noticed whether or not she tries to be noticed.
Yeah, it's true. You're like the sun just shines and there may
Yeah,
be
because I'm like, Tiffany
clouds.
truly didn't do much. I was like, I don't really know what Colton's
Beef was
targeting her. Yeah.
made a mistake, I think, of linking up with Michael Rappaport. If your closest
Uh,
ally is Michael Rappaport, you're so fucked this season.
oh, right. I totally
You
forgot. They
know
were
what I
in that like
mean?
secret hidden room together or
Like,
something.
what are I was
She
screaming. What are you doing? You make
she
yourself
did
look like
make
a
some
traitor.
interesting choices.
That was a
Okay,
choice.
I see how Colton turned the tide. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
This is Natalie, Mercury Pisces, Jupiter, another Jupiter Pisces.
wow, we have a lot of Jupiter Pisces and then Jupiter and Virgo.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Interesting.
Mars
Interesting.
Cap also.
Wow. Okay, this is like truly like nodes in Virgo Pisces plus the like Capricorn Mars. Earth,
Totally.
A lot of Earth placements
Totally.
this season.
Yes.
Natalie, wow. Aries Sun Taurus Moon. God's favorite. Like I think I
God's
posted
like
that on
literally.
Thread. I was like, that is great. An exalted sun and moon. Did she win her season of
She
Survivor?
did. So her
She
season
did.
was really fascinating because she actually joined the season with her twin sister. Her twin sister was the first person voted out, and then she
Wow.
went all the way. And then she came back for Winners at War and she made it to the finals, which was pretty cool. That's a great season too. Boston Rob's on that season.
Tea.
But she's won once. She is known for her fitness. Like she is an athletic
Mars Cap.
powerhouse. Mars Cap,
I know, I
Aries
watched a video of
Sun.
her just do pull-ups like nothing but a thing. She was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, go girl.
There was this like amazing challenge in Winners at War where like you get sent to Exile Island to win your chance back at the game. Whatever. I like hate these gimmicks in Survivor. It was basically like they had to ascend this crazy like terrain. They had to carry logs up the hill basically to like get a clue or something. And like literally she finished so fast. Everyone was like struggling and she was also exhausted. So I'm just thinking, oh my God, you are
No, that's an
such
exalted Mars.
a beast. Like her yeah, Mars
Exalted
Neptune.
Mars, trine Venus, Venus, sextile Jupiter, Mars, sextile Jupiter. Damn, like
Hmm.
that Jupiter Mars sextile is Gorgina.
So
And I do feel
beautiful.
like it was funny when she tried to lie to Rob, and Rob was like, "No, Natalie, give me the dagger."
She was so obvious. I'm not
Very.
gonna
She
lie.
was the Aries sun. She was like,
It was so funny the way she chose to respond, and it was like,
she was like
girl.
giggling. I was like, "Girl,
Yeah.
clearly you
Oh,
have it."
oh my
Um,
God.
it killed me.
That was tea
Uh,
though.
wow. Yeah, I was just curious. Okay, yeah, Aries, Sun,
Hmm.
Taurus, Moon, another exalted Mars.
The thing is, like, I don't. She could go far, but I also don't. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But the Mars cap is nice that she has that, so
So
it feels relevant.
I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, interesting that this past episode, of course, it was very like because Jam Jam, her, Colton, and like, yeah, the Mars Capricorn is loud.
Um,
Colton and her this past episode.
yeah,
Hmm.
I was gonna say
Oh, that's on Rob's moon too. Rob's Cap
true.
moon. So it makes sense why
True.
he wouldn't want to vote her out
I think what
also.
he would do, okay, so if he, I think she would be a faithful that they would take to the end and then ditch. Because she is really strong. She's so helpful to have for the challenges.
Yeah.
I think she's the only gamer left.
She is the only gamer left, which is also
Yeah,
should have been someone's fucking
argument.
POV. Yeah. Like,
Because
hello,
they're
there's
like,
one
there's
gamer left.
always a
What are the
gamer in the,
chances?
yeah. That would have been such a good argument if
Hmm.
Rob and Candace would have linked. They
Literally.
could have really, I think they could have really turned that tide. Either this, let me think. I want to like see, like, what do I think Natalie's gonna do? If Rob takes her to the, like, you know how, ah, I forget their actual names, but Rochelle and some other guy in
Chriselle.
season
Oh,
two,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God,
who like
who?
there was like three faithfuls left, and then like two of the faithfuls turned on the third
Bergie
faithful.
or something.
No,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't
Was
Bergie.
it
It
not
was some other
Bergie?
white guy. I don't know. I don't know his name. But they
The
basically did
seasons run
MJ
together.
dirty. Um, like they
Mm.
had
Yeah,
history and
CJ,
they,
CJ,
yes,
CJ.
CJ.
Yes, yes, yes,
All the
yes.
acronyms.
Yes.
Um, and like I could see something like Colton and Rob doing that to someone like Natalie,
Yeah.
for example. Or I could see Natalie, I think Natalie's obviously really smart and strategic, that perhaps she could Uno reverse. Either that or maybe she gets banished at the last round table
Mm-hmm.
before the ending ceremony thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
That makes
but
sense.
I don't think she wins. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think she wins. This doesn't look like a chart of a, like it's not as compelling of a chart compared to other charts we've
Will
seen.
you go to the what's the finale date? February 26th.
February 26th.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
like quickly look over like Rob and like Colton
Feb
maybe, and then we can end
26th.
there.
This is the finale chart out. Mercury is retrograde. First day, Venus
Does
is
it
in
come out at
Pisces.
8 p.m. 8 p.m. your time?
It okay, so it actually comes out like around 8:45 p.m. Like it comes out a
Okay.
little early than the 9 p.m. time,
Okay,
which is
okay.
like very funny. It's Cancer Moon, duh. Oh my God, that's gonna be a great finale. Jupiter Moon
Oh, this is
conjunction.
gonna be a good finale. Oh yeah, this is an election I gave a client, or like I that moon. I was like, I know this day.
Oh
Um,
wait, actually, it's a nice chart with hers that day.
okay, maybe she is in the finale.
But
I
to
don't
your
know.
point,
We'll
what you
see.
said, like she makes the finale, but maybe not the winner. But what does
She
Colton
could
chart
plot
say?
twist us. That
She
Palace
could.
Athena. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Colton and the
Mars
Triangle.
Juno. I wonder if there's a betrayal. Maybe it's Colton that gets betrayed.
I would not be because the Moon Mars with Rob and Colton. I was like, what if Rob goes to the end and flips on him?
Wait, Jupiter Moon on his south node
Oh,
though, low key.
hmm. South Node. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about South Node as like the winner
Like old
vibe.
winter. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, let me think. Like the moon is opposite his Mars. Whoever's in the Cancer perfection here is
Yeah.
probably will win. I don't know who that is, but I don't feel like doing that much math. But
Honestly, sometimes it's when people when like I like had like a mini traders like recap thing early where I was like, let me just like give some thoughts. But like predicting these shows is so difficult sometimes because it's like the chart can show that you are on the show and like you have a prominent episode on the show, like Jam Jam's chart, but
yeah.
it doesn't mean it's a winner chart. Although, look at Rob's chart, Mercury, Venus,
So wow. Okay.
on his jupes.
Yeah, the Venus on Jupiter is cool. Okay, so like
Mm.
I want to learn horary astrology because I
Oh,
think
yeah,
when I learn
yeah.
horary, I can make more better predictions with things like this.
Yeah, that's
Like who
fair.
will
That's
win and
fair.
not. But I also think of like timing. Like I really want to sit down and like look at the math. Maybe I ought to have done that before this. But
It's a
wow,
lot of work.
because
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
predicting things, like if you want to do it, it takes it takes more
A lot
math
more
than you
time.
think.
For sure. For sure.
Um, but wow, okay, so for Rob. Okay. Man, I wish we knew his rising sign because if we could figure out his
Mm-hmm.
perfection year, how old is he?
Wait,
27, right?
27. Yeah.
So
He was
27 is a
27
fourth
last
house
year.
year.
Yeah.
Fourth house year. So if we just use the sun as, okay, four signs from Leo is Scorpio, and four signs from Virgo is Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Okay. Hmm, hmm,
Hmm.
hmm,
That Jupiter does trine his Chiron too.
hmm. No, wow.
Pluto opposing
T.
Mars.
Mars is
Hmm.
also in Aquarius, and the only person like out of Colton, Natalie, Rob, who else is left? I wonder if the Mars in Aquarius, like maybe that'll affect Steven, like Steven will get cut at the end or something.
Yeah, or he's like the
Um,
one leading the faithful charge
right.
because um
Yeah, that
but oh,
Mars
he
on
does
his
not have a Mars in Aquarius, but he has the rest of the
the no,
Aquarius.
the
Yeah.
transit Mars is
Oh,
on
yeah,
his
yeah. Oh, yes, yes,
Aquarius stellium.
stellium. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like who has Aquarius placements that like the
Yeah.
Mars would be activating that.
It's
Interesting.
a big time for Steven because obviously it's his Neptune's about his he's entering his Neptune square, but he's also like just having a kid. Like he just announced he and his wife are
Aww,
expecting
adorbs.
recently. So yeah, I mean, that's why I think it's so interesting. Like I didn't really think about Steven and like I just was like, oh, I think I should look at Steven's chart. And then when I saw the Aquarius stellium, I'm like, oh, hmm.
I'm gonna put it on my money that someone with Jupiter and Pisces will win, whether it's Rob or Natalie. That would be
Um
Natalie would be a cool win. Let's see.
Also, this is Johnny Weir's chart.
Johnny,
Okay.
Venus, Jupiter.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's a good time for a faithful. Okay, imagine
Also
Johnny got
Olympics.
recruited to be a traitor.
I don't think he would because he is
I'm just kidding.
just, oh my
So
God.
wholesome.
But bless him. But bless him. Although I think this Jupiter Venus could be indicative of the Olympics because he is going to be doing figure skating coverage as well. But that's past the Olympics,
That's
maybe at that point.
a good time for him.
Very good time for
No,
him.
because that moon on his beautiful little Venus, Mercury. Okay,
So
cute.
help me God, Johnny and Candice somehow pull this off. Like, get rid of Rob.
Ooh, because Venus will
Rec
also be trining his Mercury. Like, I wish, oh my God, rising signs would make this so much. Everyone needs
I
to tell me their
know.
birth sign in the world.
Everyone. Although,
Okay.
no, wait, no. Johnny's chart is AA or A rated.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
yes,
period. Okay,
yes,
so his
yes.
ascendant is where?
He is a
Scorpio.
Scorpio rising. Candace and him makes a lot of sense. And he's
Okay.
A Jupiter Cap.
Just like me. Um, oh wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
7 degrees. I feel like we've
Mm-hmm.
seen that 7 degrees cap come up a couple times. Or maybe that
Rob's
was Rob's
moon.
moon.
Rob's
It's
moon.
but his moon is birth time, da 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 da. But
Maybe that means he
wow.
goes for Rob. You know what I mean? Because when they were talking Candace and Colton, I'm sorry, Candace and Johnny, they were like Rob and Colton. You know what I mean? Who do we like lean
Will you
into?
put this with Rob? Will you put Johnny with
Oh,
Rob?
yeah, 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 I will.
Okay, okay, Johnny and Natalie would be an interesting faithful
The Mars Chiron hit right here with Johnny. I
with
mean,
both malefics. No, it looks like yeah,
Pluto South
Johnny's
Node. Oh,
okay,
Johnny and Rob. That's an
T. Lilith
interesting.
on Jupiter also.
Oh, oh, that's right.
With both of them have Palace at the both of them are strategizing against each other.
Literally.
Um,
It's very cool. Ooh. Ooh,
that's
Johnny, dark horse
the
chart.
dark horse. I think he's the dark horse.
Oh my God.
Um,
Amazing.
wow. Okay,
Johnny
T.
Weir. I'm glad we got. I was like thinking as I was putting in the times, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, we have Johnny's time because he's like a legit celebrity, you know, like with like memoirs,
Thank
I'm sure, and
God.
like
Shout out
things.
to
So
Johnny.
bless. But oh my God, this was so fun. Like, I feel like I looked down at the time, I'm like, just kidding, we're almost 2 hours now. But was there any other thoughts, any other astro thoughts, any other tea you want to spill before we
Any
wind
other
down?
tea? Let's see. Wow, I'm just so excited. I love Traitors. I just love the feeling of like watching a show with America or like with the world. Like,
Yeah.
especially in times like this, while I think obviously I'm informed and engaged and
Hmm.
feeling all the feelings there as well, I think having some joy and mystery and murder is in the most
Healthy.
innocent way is very healthy and fun. And it was also interesting because obviously these things mirror our societal things. So the other part
Yes.
of my brain is like, well, actually, I never stop thinking about the way the world is when I'm watching reality TV. Oh,
Yeah.
here's a very random thought. So I'm watching Vanderpump Rules for the very first
Yeah.
time.
That's right. How's that going?
Okay, so like I wish I watched this in my early 20s
Oh my God,
because
yeah.
it is just a freaking like it just says so much about society and patriarchy. And I think Tell the Bees, who's an incredible like
Oh my God,
creator,
so great.
on TikTok, he has this thing. He's like Vanderpump. He's like, how a cheat about Sandoval, how a cheating scandal broke a TV show that's about cheating. And it's literally like they're all just cheating on each other. But I think like the thing that was just really poignant for me is like, okay, now I'm like 29, almost 30, and it's like this point in our life that we can see like the long-term patterns of the people that we grew up with, right? If that makes sense, or like the
Mm-hmm.
social circles that we've had throughout our life, and like the way like these men never changed in the show. And it's not that I don't think men are capable of change, I don't think that at all, but it was just like the programming that we had of like cool girl, like just put up with things. And the show
Mm.
started in 2013, so like peak of like be cool with it all, be chill with it all. And I think of like Katie and Schwartz, and how
Mm.
Katie has, they've divorced and Katie's just had the biggest glow up and success and all these things now that
Mm-hmm.
this like weird relationship isn't holding her back. And I just think there's so many like lessons to learn from the most unhinged show I've ever watched. I haven't watched Jersey Shore, so maybe that will give VPR a run for its money on the unhinged levels.
Oh, that
But
is a water heavy cast. That is Cancer, Scorpio all
I'm
in there and
screaming.
Pisces. Yeah, it's perfect, but also
Yeah.
whoo, whoo, it's sometimes a little too much for me. Like I have a very detached relationship with Vanderpump Rules. I feel like I don't know if it's my chart or maybe just being so immersed into like all this stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's almost like I can feel the energetic like ick in a deep way that I'm like, "Ugh, I
There's
cannot
some
bring myself to do
there
this."
are some people in that show that I'm like, wow, great TV, horrible people.
Horrible people.
Wow, you're worse than I could have even initially thought you were.
Literally.
Shout out to Jax. Shout out to Jax.
Oh my
Um,
God. But he was so funny on House of Villains, I'm not gonna lie. Like
oh,
the fact that every villain on House of Villain hated Jax was saying something.
no,
It was
that's
so
tea.
good. It was so good. But
Oh
Neha,
my
thank you
gosh.
so
Thank you
much
so
for taking
much.
time out of your schedule to have this traders chat. And my. I feel like there's gonna be another reality show which we're gonna get back on and like do some deep diving in. But
I
maybe
know.
maybe next time we can put in a little work and do some predictions before the season
I know. I was
starts.
like, oh, man,
One of these
this
days.
season. But oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And your books are open now, yeah? Or
My
they
books
have been
are open.
open. Mm-hmm.
They're open. I sometimes don't announce them, but they're most of the time they're open. I don't ever initially close them
Mm-hmm.
unless I announce it. And I
Mm-hmm.
have really awesome natal chart readings, timing sessions. If you want to know like your purpose and like what am I doing here on Earth, I have a special session for that called the Purpose Oracle. And then, as Tasha said, I be yapping on threads. So if you just want to hear my random thoughts, that's where you can find me, which is astrology.with.neha. And my Instagram is the same.
Fabulous. Well, thank you again for tuning in. Thank you, Neha, for being here. And of course, this episode hopefully is dropping before episode 8. I'm going to try to edit this as fast as I can. But happy viewing, everyone, and may your favorite trader or faithful take the prize.
Woo!
Bye.